Now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Good evening and welcome to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School as we get you set for the Class Quad A Region 2 Section 1 championship matchup between the number 2, the visiting Hedgesville Eagles, and the number 1, the homestanding Spring Mills Cardinals. I'm Spencer Dupuy, joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us here. Cameramen this evening are John Alderton and Colin McLaughlin. Back in their studio, Dylan Bishop and Nick. This is a big matchup, not only because it's the sectional championship, but you have hosting regionals on the line. You get, no matter what you're in this game, you get another game after this, but just the pure fact is the win gets you home court advantage to get a chance to go to the state tournament.
Yeah, there's quite a few things that make it a big game. I mean, you mentioned that. Obviously, you want to win to host for the regional championship game and get the team that obviously lost on the other side, so hypothetically an easier opponent, but you never know what's going to happen between Jefferson and Musselman, and it really just depends on matchups there, and we know Musselman has beaten both of these teams, so no disrespect there. And we know that Hedgesville's beaten Jefferson twice, so, you know, on paper maybe they would like to face the Cougars again, but that's all for after this one. I think you want to win this one either way because you want to, one, get that home floor, and two, I think just get the momentum of winning the sectional championship game. So there's a lot that plays a factor there. I think other key storylines, we have a coaching tree battle in head coach Kelly Church versus his former assistant Luke Samples. We have Spring Mills and Hedgesville, just a big rivalry there because Spring Mills split from Hedgesville when they decided to make another school here in Berkeley County and add Spring Mills. It divided what was once Hedgesville School District. So there's that kind of rivalry. There's obviously the coaches being very familiar with each other, and what's on the line, a sectional championship and home court for the regional championship. So a lot on the line tonight, Spencer, and a lot of fun, interesting storylines that set up for a very intriguing matchup. A Spring Mills team that swept Hedgesville in the regular season, but a Hedgesville team that swept Jefferson, so we know they have the talent. Can they come out and play with that talent, or the Spring Mills get the better of the Eagles once again? It should be fun to see. Yeah, it should be fun to see. The All-EPAC teams released yesterday. Caleb Thomas, the player of the year, and, you know, you look at him, about 11 points a game, over 10.5 rebounds, about 5 blocks, 4 assists, and a steal per game, shooting 57%. He's a guy that's going to be huge in this one, and it's even bigger because just got word that he did get cleared to play in this one. I guess he had hurt an ankle, but he is cleared to play in this one. How much, it's still to be determined, but he could make or break this game, I think, for the Cardinals tonight. Absolutely. He is the best player in the county this year, in the conference, I should say, this year. So having him limited really could be a big loss for the Cardinals. And even though he's going to be on the floor, you know, not having him at full strength is huge. Now, hey, maybe he is pretty much at full strength, like 90, 95%. Which in that case, then it's not maybe as big of a factor, but you need Caleb Thomas and you need him playing good basketball here tonight because he has taken over the point guard role for the Spring Mills Cardinals. With the changes in the roster, they are still in this position that they had their goals set to be, and Caleb has played excellent basketball and is definitely not only the player of the year, but the MVP. He's the most important player on the floor for the Cardinals. If he's not 100% or not on the floor at some times, then you're going to struggle without Thomas on the court. So absolutely a huge factor is his health, and you're going to need him at 100% tonight.
Yeah, you are. And looking at the other players here that are represented tonight on this court, also on the first team, Cam Wilkes for Hedgesville. He's been a key player for them all season long. And then looking at the second team, Jackson Ruest, Christian Bolduc, Stephon Barkley, all from Hedgesville, and then Caleb Robinson from Spring Mills. And, you know, those are quite a group of players there.
Yeah, I mean, these are two of the best teams in the EPAC, two of the top three. So you would expect a lot of the EPAC all-conference team members to be out on the floor. And you mentioned Cam Wilkes for Hedgesville being the other first-teamer in this game, and Cam Wilkes is a big game player. You know, when you watch him play, he seems to always have his best moments and big moments. He's hit some big shots for Hedgesville over the past couple of the Spring Mills here tonight for sectional championship.
And Nick, that's what we'll break this first segment as here on the Sunset Water Countdown. The tip-off Sunset Water proudly installing water softeners in Martinsburg and Berkeley County since 1989. After this 2-minute break, we'll hear from both teams' head coaches. You're tuned in to the EPAC Section 1 Championship game on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10 back in 2 minutes.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
And the streak continues!
CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on the bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
Looking to buy a home in the Eastern Panhandle? Thinking about making that big move but don't know where to start? Then call Chris Ross in the Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris is a Martinsburg High School graduate and knows the local market, and he's proven it for the past 15 years at Milestone Real Estate Group. Looking to sell or buy a home? Phone 304-579-7349. That's 304-579-7349. Or go to callchrisross.com. Making milestones is our business.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including Trivia Night Monday, Karaoke Tuesday, Steak Night Wednesday and Sunday, Thursday night Boneless Wing Night, and on Friday and Saturday nights, there'll be a DJ and or karaoke. And remember, Monday through Friday, happy hour, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Welcome back to the Sunset Water Countdown to tip-off here from the Cardinal Coliseum as we get you set for the Class Quad A Region 2 Section 1 championship matchup between the number 1 Spring Mills Cardinals and the number 2 Hedgesville Eagles. Spencer Puy joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us here. It's time for the coaches' interviews brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with convenient locations all around the Eastern Panhandle. Rock's fast, fresh, friendly. We'll start first with the head coach of the visiting team, head coach Kelly Church.
Joined by Hedgesville head coach Kelly Church. And coach, this matchup for you guys is here because you guys were able to knock off Martinsburg the other night. It was a tough game. Obviously, you guys in Martinsburg obviously play a tough game, but what was the key for your team in that win the other night?
We came out early and played really, really well. I think our kids relaxed a little bit. And we had we got up by 15, I think, early on. And it was 20-9 at the end of one, I believe. And anyway, Martinsburg's not going to quit. And they came back and they went on a 20-4 run, And so, I think the main thing was our ability to handle that. Handle that. We again talk about getting punched in the mouth. Obviously not literally, but there's going to be some runs in basketball. You got to be able to handle that and bounce back and not feel sorry for yourself. So I was extremely pleased with our kids' ability to do that.
And when you look at this game tonight, obviously it's Spring Mills getting the number 1 seed this year, and Coach Samples coached under you. Is that kind of a cool thing to see? Obviously you as a coach you want to beat him, but to see somebody that worked under you get a job and have a successful team?
Yeah, certainly. No matter what, George Gosk is going to the state tournament. George Gosk played for me, and George Gosk was an integral part of us winning a state championship back when we did, and he was a huge part of our staff. Coach Samples eventually came and joined our staff, and I talk about all the time. Brian Thomas, the head football coach at Musselman, he was part of our basketball family and stuff. And so we think we do a pretty good job of teaching people how to become good leaders and guide young men in the right way. So certainly, anytime you want your coaching tree to have branches, and when your coaching tree has branches and those branches are successful, you feel pretty good about what you've been able to do.
And when you look at this matchup tonight, obviously they have Caleb Thomas, the EPAC Player of the Year. What kind of things does he kind of dictate for you guys to have to cover and change some things?
Well, and I don't know if it's about changing things. I mean, every game you have to deal with different personnel. So obviously his size, his length, his ability to alter shots around the rim, and he's also does a really, really good job of handling the ball for them. So he sees over people. He's not usually a person who goes up and tries to put up 25 points, but he really does dictate so many things for them. Offensively, taking care of the ball, as I alluded to, and then on the defensive end, his ability to block and alter shots is a big difference.
And what is it going to take for your team to get the win tonight?
At the end of the game, we got to have more points than they do. That's what it comes down to. I mean, basic basketball stuff. Like we at our place, again, I was at my daughter's wedding, and when I say zero regrets, I was at the right place. That's where I should be. Tried to move the game. Disappointed that didn't happen. But, going back and watching the film and talking with our coaches who do a great job, I just, my game plan, not anybody else's, but we really, we did a pretty good job on Caleb, but too many other kids, too many wide open looks, and they knocked them down. They didn't miss. They hit a ton of threes and they shot really, really well. And, if they hit that many threes, they're a really, really good team. So we can't give them that many open looks no matter what we do defensively, or we'll be in trouble.
And you guys get 3 players, a few players on the EPAC, all EPAC teams. What have those players meant to your team this year?
Well, at our school it's a little bit different. And when I say it's a little bit different, like we our pace of play sometimes is fast, sometimes is slow. We in the end we don't worry about numbers in terms of kids' statistics, who scores this many points or that many points. And while we're extremely proud and happy for those kids, we just finished have a conversation about the importance of our managers are as equally important as our best players. So I think it's just the way we try to do things in Hedgesville and making sure that everybody understands. No matter what, it's everybody's role is just as important as everybody else's, and so those 3 kids will all have the opportunity to go play college basketball. We've already secured that for them, and so knowing that they have those opportunities and everything else afterwards obviously means a big deal to them and their families.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We're joined by head coach for the Spring Mills Cardinals, Coach Luke Samples. And, Coach, you guys get the number 1 seed, and you got the bye. You're hosting tonight. And for you, probably this is a bit personal with you going back on being on Coach Church's staff back in the day and now kind of being, having been led by him as an assistant coach, and now you're getting to face him in the sectional finals.
Well, I mean, the bad thing is, the worst thing you do is make it personal. We're not going to punch anyone in the mouth figuratively tonight. We're not going to fight anyone figuratively. We don't use that kind of verbiage here. We're going to play aggressive. We're going to play tough. And I was there for 2 years. I learned a lot what to do and what not to do. And again, it's just another team. It's Hedgesville. It's a big rival. We're excited to have the 1 seed, home game, sectional championship. But again, man, the 1 seed, we wanted it for the bye. We wanted it for the bye so we can automatically play a regional game. Now, obviously, we'd love to play that regional game here. And to do that, we got to beat a really good Hedgesville team. But, yeah, man, not personal at all. That wouldn't be fair to the kids.
And you guys have the EPAC Player of the Year in Caleb Thomas. What has he meant to your team this year?
Oh, man, I'm so proud of him. He does everything. And a lot of times people look at points, you know what I'm saying? And he scores points, don't get me wrong. But it's everything else he does that makes him special. He's a leader. He's a 4.5 student. And he's a leader as a freshman. He's a leader as a sophomore. He's played every position on the floor for us. We're going to move him around tonight. And it's so he's been great. He's dealing with an ankle, which stinks for him. But again, man, we got to get him healthy and we got to get him ready. And he's done a good job working through that.
And Caleb Robinson gets a second team nod. He's a senior for you. What has he meant for this team for the last 4 years?
You know, I told him before the season, after the Waynesboro scrimmage, that he's our heartbeat. I mean, we go as he goes. He's got to keep his head out there. He's got to keep us cool. He's a really good player. He found a way to, forge travel basketball and high school basketball together. We saw potential in him as a freshman, and he's a kid that worked through the freshman program, the JV program, and he started 2 years varsity pretty much every game and played big minutes. So, I mean, I think he's just a perfect example of if you work hard here, player development, you're going to become a pretty good basketball player. And second team All EPAC, man, as a senior, it couldn't happen to a better kid.
And for your team, you guys have gone out there, beat Hedgesville twice this season. What's it going to take get that third one and host a regional game?
I mean, it's hard to beat anyone in the EPAC. I mean, it's hard. It doesn't matter, you beat them 5 times, you beat them 6 times, you beat them 100 times. We have to go out and be us. We have to go out and play our game. We know, execute the scout. We know what they're going to do. They know exactly what we're going to do. There's no guessing. I mean, everyone scouts everyone, and we just have to go out there and be us. Have fun, be excited, and try to host the regional game.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
That was Hedgesville's head coach Kelly Church first, and then head coach for the Spring Mills Cardinals, Luke Samples, and those were your coaches' interviews brought to you by Rock's Local Markets. We get back after this 2-minute break. We'll break more things down here. We're about 10 minutes until tip-off. You're tuned into the Region 2 Section 1 championship game on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10 back in 2 minutes.
If you or someone you know suffers from the disease of addiction, help is available from the Berkeley County Quick Response Team, with peer recovery coaches and support promptly to the homes of those who've recently experienced an overdose. This collective effort towards recovery brings resources and services to the community, including naloxone and treatment options. Call 304-267-1313 or visit the Berkeley County Recovery Resource Center, 400 West Stevens Street, Martinsburg. The Berkeley County Quick Response Team is funded through a DHHR grant with the Berkeley Morgan County Health Department.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
About under 8 minutes until tip-off, until introductions here, and then tip-off follows right at about 7 p.m. Spencer Dupuy, Nick Rosalini, happy to have you with us. Cameramen this evening, Colin McLaughlin, John Alderton. Back in the studio is Dylan Bishop. And Nick, pretty interesting coaches interviews there.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded like there were some shots taken between the coaches there, so obviously there might be some bad blood there. I don't know. That would just be us speculating, but at least it definitely sounded to me like a quote of Kelly Church's being called out by Luke Samples. So I don't know. But, I mean, hey, they coach together. Obviously, they're on opposite sides now, so maybe that's just kind of some background motivation for these coaches. But we'll see, right? I mean, it sets up for a good rivalry-type atmosphere whenever you have that connection just in general. Neither guy wants to be the one to lose, whether you are the guy that coached under a head coach or you coached over or was the head coach to your assistant. You don't want to lose to your former assistant because that would kind of show that maybe he's better than you. I don't know. But really, it's about the kids. I think that's the most important thing that you have to look at it here tonight. You can tell about the coaches, and they could maybe have some drama on the side, but it's about how the players play on the court and the kids playing here tonight for a sectional championship, and I hope that's what both of these coaches will do. And knowing both guys, they do tend to be about their players more than about themselves. So that's really the most important thing here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely is. And here we'll talk about the other sectional matchup here. We got a couple of minutes left to do so. And that other sectional matchup in the sectional finals in Section 2 has number 1 Jefferson hosting number 2 Musselman. And, I think the story really there is the firepower and the scoring ability that Jefferson has. And we saw it in both games as both were nearly 30-point victories for Jefferson over Musselman during the regular season.
Yeah, I think the big key is can Musselman kind of mimic the game plan that Hedgesville has worked successfully both times against Jefferson this season. And if they can keep, the Cougars in the 50s, they have a chance. But that's easier said than done. We see how well Jefferson can shoot when they're on. 18 three-pointers when the two teams played in Inwood a few weeks ago. So it's definitely a tough matchup for Musselman. They don't really play to that same style or pace. But if they can slow down the pace of the game and control the tempo, I think the Applemen would have a chance to make it close. They have enough talent there where they could do that. But it is a very difficult matchup going up against a Jefferson team that can shoot the lights out. And if they're on, there's no beating them. So it should be interesting to see how Musselman competes. But either way, Musselman's in the regional championship game and has beaten both of these teams in the regular season. So whoever they draw, it should be a good game there as well. And I think it's very exciting. And looking forward to the regional games and looking forward to the games tonight that's set up who we get to see in the regionals.
Yeah, and, it was an interesting tidbit I learned the other day. After tonight's games, before the regional championship games, they will actually seed, the coaches will, the top 16 that will go eventually. They'll kind of cut out the other 8, but they'll seed 1 to 16 about who is going to be seeding for the state tournament. And then they'll just take out the teams that don't make it, and then they'll fall in to make it 1 through 8. So it'll be pretty interesting as, if Musselman is able to get a win tonight, hypothetically, I think that would give them a little bit more chance to maybe get a 7th or a 6th seed rather than losing, but somehow winning the next game and getting an 8th seed.
It all just really depends on how the rest of the state plays out to determine what Musselman's seeding will be. On paper, it looks like if they were to somehow make it, well, not somehow, because as we said, they've beaten these teams before, but if they were to make it to the state tournament, they'd probably be the 8th seed based off their overall season record. But it would just depend if you see another upset somewhere or whatever the case may be. But I think also you can look at it as, in some ways, you already made the state tournament once you make it to the regional championship game because it's win or go home either way. So obviously it's not the Charleston atmosphere, but it's like the play-in game in some ways to make it to the final 8, and then the Elite 8 head to Charleston. So you're one of the last 16 teams getting to play in the state of West Virginia in Quad A. I think that's an exciting thing to be a part of and an achievement in its own right.
All right, Nick, here we kind of crunched some time here, so now we'll get to your keys to the game. The key to your next vehicle is at the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road in Martinsburg. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? I ride with them, so you should too. Nick, keys to the game tonight.
We'll start with the visitors, Hedgesville. I think the keys for them are to play consistently. In the game against Martinsburg, they got off to a tremendous start in the first quarter. The second quarter was really bad, but then the third and the fourth were pretty good. But if you play that way against a team like Spring Mills, if you only have one good quarter early on and then really struggle in the second quarter, that would allow a team like the Cardinals to pull away, and maybe you can't recover from that deficit. So I think that's going to be really important. And also, we haven't really seen this team, I think, when we've been there, played it to their best ability. And you're going to have to do that in a game against Spring Mills. And then I think you got to try to make the Cardinals uncomfortable, whether that be pushing the tempo or changing the pace of play, shooting the ball well from outside, something that throws Spring Mills off its game, because the Cardinals have been able to throw you off your game in both of these matchups so far. And then for Spring Mills, I think the key is really just who steps up. It appears Jalen Franklin may not be with the program anymore. His poster's not up on the wall. He's not warming up. He's not on the bench. So it appears he's no longer with the team. So that's another loss to this rotation that's already limited. They lost Keyshawn Cheek earlier this year. They don't have Franklin, it appears, at least tonight, and potentially for the rest of the season as well. So you're going to need guys to step up. Who's going to fill those roles? You've been playing without Cheek for so long where that doesn't really matter as much now, but playing without Franklin's relatively new. So how do you see other guys fill that spot, and how do you keep your team out of foul trouble so you don't have to go too far into your bench?
All right, Nick, time for players to look out for, brought to you by the Sutton and Janelle Attorneys at Law, a full-service law firm helping individuals, families, and businesses with all their legal needs. They're at 224 West King Street in Martinsburg. Go to suttonandjanelle.com.
I think I'm going to go with Christian Bolduc tonight for Hedgesville. I think I talked about Cam Wilkes and what he's able to do as a scorer, and I said I think that he needs 20 for them to have a good chance to win. But you're going to need Bolduc to have one of those type of games as well. Like a big scoring night from him would be really nice to see. I haven't seen it as much from him this season, but we know he has the ability to do that. And then on the Spring Mills side, I'm going to go with Caleb Robinson. He's the senior. He's one of now 3 seniors left on the team, but he's always been kind of their leader. And I think, obviously, with Caleb Thomas potentially dealing with an injury, not being at 100%, it's going to be important to see a big game from Caleb Robinson. So I'm going to go with Robinson and Christian Bolduc tonight.
All right, let's keep it here. Time for the starting lineup brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors. John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call 304-263-4343. We'll start with the Hedgesville Eagles. Number 1, the senior guard, Stephon Barclay. Number 3, the senior point guard, Cam Wilkes. Number 4, the senior small forward, Damon Cook. Number 10, the small forward, the senior, Jackson Ruest. Number 11, the small forward shooting guard combo, the senior Christian Bolduc. And now for Spring Mills, the number 3 sophomore EPAC Player of the Year, Caleb Thomas. Number 4, senior second team All-EPAC, Caleb Robinson. Number 5, the sophomore DJ Bordley. Number 15, the sophomore Max Anderson. And number 22, the senior Austin Davis. That will do it here for the Sunset Water countdown to tip-off. When we get back, we'll have tip-off after this 3-minute break. You tune into the EPAC Section 1 championship game on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Back in 3 minutes.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Hi, I'm Annette McDonald, and I am the designer at Orsini's in Martinsburg, West Virginia. We welcome you into our store to show you a complete line of what we do here. We design your cabinetry, quartz countertops, granite countertops, hardware, anything for the full remodel of your kitchen and your home needs. We also do bathrooms, and we have flooring available too. We make sure that your project with Orsini's is the best in the market. Welcome to Orsini's.
Orsini's.com. The Honda HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, Passport, and Ridgeline. They all have one thing in common. They never back off from a challenge. Available with all-wheel drive, the Honda SUV lineup has the performance you can count on and the capability to amaze. It's no wonder Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com named Honda the 2022 Best Value brand.
CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
Based on 2022 brand image awards from Kelley Blue Book, visit KBB.com for more information.
Hi,
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Here, moments away from tip-off in the Class Quad A Region 2 Section 1 championship game between the number 1 Spring Mills Cardinals and the number 2 Hedgesville Eagles. Spencer Quee joined alongside Nick Verzolini. Happy to have you with us here, cameramen this evening, John Allerton and Colin McLaughlin back in the studio. Dylan Bishop, and the opening tip-off brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more. Hey, Nick, you know, one thing we were talking about earlier today is kind of the importance for Hedgesville to press early.
Yeah, I think that would be important for the Eagles to try to do something to get Spring Mills out of its rhythm. For the most part, Spring Mills is a slow it down type team, so that would be, key for the Eagles.
Tip up is up and one almost secured by Spring Mills, but secured by Hedgesville. Wilkes now to Cook. Over to Ruest in the corner. Back to the top of the key to Barclay. Barclay comes in, decides to take himself back out to the top of the key. Pass over to Ruest, and he's going to take the three. The first shot of the game brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, promote, protect. They're at 121 administrative or 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131. Shot was no good. Rebounded by Spring Mills. Over to Davis at the top of the key. Now over to Anderson from three. They're going to call that a three, and that's the first points of the game for either team. Max Anderson puts Spring Mills on top. 3-0, 7:18 left.
Well, how about this atmosphere tonight, Spencer? We got both student sections packed.
And a three on the way. That's good.
Cam Wilkes there.
Cam Wilkes nails the three to tie things up at 3 apiece. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bordley to Robinson. Now Robinson to Bordley. He's going to dribble drive, and he's going to get fouled. That foul is on Damon Cook. Is it a shooting foul?
No, he never really went up for a shot, but good job by Bordley to draw the foul.
Inbounded to Anderson. To Robinson. Now to Davis. Back to Robinson. Over to Bordley. He's going to dribble drive through the lane, and that one's blocked. Blocked by Cook, but it's kept in. And a three from Davis. That's through. Austin Davis nails the three. 6-3. The Cardinals on top. 6:27 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Austin Davis, even with a defender in his face.
Max Anderson takes it away on the pass to Wilkes, but it goes out of bounds and will remain with the Eagles.
Max Anderson's playing really well tonight so far. Aggressive on the defensive end. He's got the assignment of guarding Cam Wilkes, so we'll see how he does.
That's Cook now with it over to Bolduc. Now to Barclay. Barclay's jumper is no good, but Cook gets the rebound. That one rolls around and out on his jumper. Caleb Thomas running the point over to Anderson. Now to Bordley. Heard Coach Sample say he was going to move Caleb Thomas around a lot tonight. Down low to Davis. Davis's layup is up and good. It's now an 8-3 lead for the Cardinals. 5:45 to go in the first quarter. Have not seen press yet from Hedgesville.
Well, you got to make a basket. They've only made one shot, so in order to press, you got to have the ball go through the basket.
That shot is blocked by Thomas. Ruess gets his own rebound, and then he goes up and he's fouled by Thomas.
Yeah, good call there, Caleb Thomas with the initial strong block, but second time made contact with the body.
First shot coming here from Jackson Ruess. Shot is up and around the rim, no good.
You got to make free throws in games like this.
Second one is straight through.
There you go.
8-4, but no press coming. Interesting not to see the press here. Over to Robinson. Robinson's going to come out. He's going to pass to Thomas. Thomas forced to pass it in the corner to Anderson. Anderson passes it to Davis all the way in the corner. Davis comes out. Now to Robinson. Thinks about the three. Pulls it back out, and he's going to dribble drive through the lane. Over to Davis. To Max Anderson at the top of the key. Over to Bordley. Bordley, step back three. That's through. DJ Bordley nails the three. 11-4. Cardinals out to a 7-point lead. Under 5 to go in the first quarter.
Well, if Spring Mills keeps shooting it like this, doesn't matter what defense Hedgesville is in, the Cardinals are just knocking them down. Already 3 threes.
Barclay with it, spins around his defender to Ruess. Ruess is going to lay it up and in. Jackson Ruess now with 3 points on the night. Caleb Robinson takes it in, and he's going to get guarded by Ruess. Nearly takes it out of bounds. He's able to retrieve it, though. Ball now to Anderson. Over to Davis in the corner. To Bordley. Bordley thinks about the three. He's going to dribble drive through the lane. Pass to Thomas. Thomas to Davis for three. That one's off the mark and out of bounds. No good. It'll be Hedgesville basketball here. 4:10 to go in the first quarter. Brought to you on TV 10 by the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations. Robert Field and Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown. Ransom proudly serving the area since 1880. 11-6 to score. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Over to Barclay. Barclay gets the screen from Ruess. He dribble drives to the lane, lays that one up and through. 11-8 now. 3:53 to go in the first.
Austin Davis got caught behind a screen, and his assignment was Stephon Barclay, and then nobody stopped Barclay until he got right to the
Anderson
rack.
Through the lane. His layup is no good.
If Stephon gets to the rack, he's probably going to finish. He's too tall and athletic.
And the layup there is no good. Davis nearly gets the rebound, but Barclay gets it, puts it back up. No good. Caleb Thomas, the E-Back player of the year, snags the board going back the other way. He averages nearly or over 10 a game. Thomas now. Over to Bordley. Bordley to Davis. Now to Anderson. In the corner to Robinson. Robinson comes out, tries to hand it off to Bordley. He's able to secure it before it goes out of bounds. Over to Robinson. Trying to set up the offense here. He's going to dribble drive through the lane instead. Lay that one up. Score the field goal. He'll go to the line.
What a finish by Caleb Robinson, but I think they called a charge.
They called the charge there.
No, they didn't.
No.
Okay. Everybody seemed like they were running down the court.
Yeah,
so
it looked like they did.
Yeah, I thought they might have called it, but
So Robinson now at the line for the and one attempt. That shot is up and perfect. 14-8 the score. 3:02 left in the first quarter. First quarter also brought to you on TV 10 by CMA's Honda of Winchester, 3985 Valley Pike. CMA moving live forward over to Barclay. Now to Ruess at the top of the key. Thinks about the three. Trying to pass it. Passes to Barclay. Covered by Davis. Now he'll pass it back to Ruess. He will take the three. It's off the front of the iron. No good. Thomas with the board.
I know he's open, but I don't love that shot from Jackson Ruess. It's not necessarily his shot. He's a better post scorer than a three-point shooter.
Bordley nearly has it taken away, and they're going to call the travel. Thought it could have been a reach-in potentially there on Cam Wilkes, but they call a travel on Bordley.
Yeah. It's definitely a close call there. But overall, I like the aggressiveness from Hedgesville on defense, but I thought it could have been a reach-in foul as well.
Over to Barkley. He'll go through the lane. Pass it over to Cook. Cook's jumper is good. Damon Cook into the scoring column. 14-10, a 4-point lead for the Cardinals. Over to Thomas, coming off of an ankle injury, just getting cleared earlier this afternoon. Over to Anderson, now to Robinson. Robinson's going to set it up, hand it off to Anderson. Anderson now back to Robinson. Bordley cutting through the middle. He can't maintain control. Wilkes with it. Wilkes going to go back the other way. He's going to stop, pass it down low to Ruiz. Ruiz is going to lay it up and then score the field goal. He'll go to the line for the and one attempt.
I think that's 2 on Caleb Thomas. That's huge. But that's more of Jackson Ruiz's type play. Getting the ball in the block, he's very tough, even when he doesn't have the size advantage.
Ruiz at the line. He does not make that one. He's up to 5 points on the evening. Robinson with the board.
They're going to let Caleb Thomas play with 2 fouls. And we talked about it. Jalen Franklin appears to no longer be with the team, so you're hurting in bench depth if you're Spring Mills.
Bordley has his pass intended for Thomas taken away by Ruiz. Cook over to Bolduc now. Bolduc, the only player on the court yet to score for Hedgesville. Barkley to Ruiz. Ruiz thinks about the 3, steps back for the 3. That's no good. Wilkes with the board, fighting over to Anderson. Now it's over to Bolduc. Bolduc's layup is good. Now everybody's in the scoring column that got the start tonight for the Eagles, and it's a tie game, Nick. 14-14, a minute to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you would expect between these two teams. Really good flow to the game here early on between Spring Mills and Hedgesville, and both teams scoring at a high clip.
Anderson with it, guarded by Bolduc. He's going to pass to Robinson. Open 3, in and around and good for Caleb Robinson. He's up to 6 points on the night. Ruiz now to Barkley, in the corner to Cook. To Ruiz, thinks about the 3, passes over to Bolduc. Bolduc, nowhere to go with it. He's going to turn around and dribble drive in. His layup is no good. Tries to get his own board, fighting for it. It goes out of bounds. Stays with Hedgesville, though. And Spring Mills will bring in 2 subs here. First subs of the ball game for either team here. Just 18.1 seconds left in the first quarter. Coming in is Logan Bush, along with Xavier Anderson. Coming out, Caleb Thomas, as well as DJ Bordley.
Yeah, how does Xavier Anderson play a big role here tonight? 3
from Wilkes, that's no good. Rebounded by Logan Bush. Over to Max Anderson.
Because with Thomas now with the 2 fouls, he has to be the rim protector defensively.
5 and counting left on the clock. Max Anderson double team. He'll lay up a heave. That's no good. And the rebound by his brother Xavier almost goes in on the layup. No good, though, but it's a 17-14 lead here at the end of the first quarter. We'll be back after this 60-second break for second quarter action here on TV 10. Back in 60 seconds.
Hi, it's Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 Spencer Dupuis. When I got into a car accident and needed to get another vehicle, I wanted to go somewhere I could trust. So I went to the Heffley Motor Company at 993 Hedgesville Road.
As a first-time car buyer, I really didn't know what to expect. But at Heffley, they treated me like family. Every step in the process was seamless. Not only did they give me a great deal, but they also helped me secure an amazing interest rate. Now I know firsthand why Heffley has such a great reputation in this community.
I ride with Heffley Motor Company, so you should too.
You've been in an accident. A distracted driver put texting over safety. Your injuries, loss of income, and medical bills can last a long time, even a lifetime. Our job is to try and secure justice that will protect you and your family for the rest of your life. Mansion Ferretti, when you need justice.
Welcome back here to the Cardinal Coliseum. About to get the second quarter underway here. Inbounding right in front of our broadcast location. Bush passes it in to Max Anderson. Now over to Robinson. Down low to Anderson. Caleb Thomas back in the ball game. To Anderson. Now to Bush. Over to Thomas. Thomas trying to figure out where to go with it. He's going to turn around. Pass it to Anderson. He'll think about the three. Wisely decides not to with Ruest in his face. Now that's Robinson. Reverse lay-in. That's good for Caleb Robinson. Up to 8 points on the evening. 19-14. The lead's been widened back out to 5.
What a finish.
Bolduc from three. Off the mark. No good. Ruest gets it. Keeps it in. Back to Wilkes. Wilkes layup is good. 5 points now for Cam Wilkes. Makes it a 3-point game here.
I mean, that finish by Caleb Robinson was like Kyrie Irving layup package good.
Anderson now to Bush. Interesting. Logan Bush getting extended minutes in this first half. Over now to Davis. Davis can't keep it. It's back to Bush from three. Off the mark, no good. Barclay secures the board over to Ruest. Up to Wilkes. Wilkes is going to drive through, spin around, shot is good. Score the field goal. He'll go to the line. Cam Wilkes up to 7, looking to make it 8.
We're seeing some
make it a tie game.
Very high level of basketball being played on both sides between Hedgesville and Spring Mills so far in this sectional championship game. I mean, what a move by Cam Wilkes with the beautiful spin and finish through contact. This has been a great start to this ball game, Spencer, and hopefully this pace and level of play continues.
Shot on the way by Wilkes is good. He's got 8 points. It's another tie ball game. Robinson now to Bordley, to Anderson. In the corner to Robinson, guarded tightly by Ruest. Over to Davis, back to Robinson. Robinson now to Anderson. 6:15 left in the first half. A tie ball game at 19. Robinson thinking about the three. Over to Bordley. Bordley.
A great play.
Nearly has it taken away. He does by Wilkes. Wilkes step back. No good. Looked like he was right on the line. Retrieved by the Cardinals. Thomas with it. In the corner to Bordley. Wide open three. Off the mark. No good. Rebounded by Davis. Davis now out to Robinson. Robinson will pass to the top of the key to Anderson. Anderson guarded by Barclay.
Hedgesville hasn't used any of its bench so far, so that's interesting. They didn't really use it against Martinsburg at all either.
We've got a turnover here.
An offensive foul going against the Cardinals. And DJ Bordley.
Bordley with the foul.
So both these teams aren't really going to lean into their bench, it appears, here tonight. At least if they don't have to. And, I mean, that's what you expect in playoff basketball.
Over now to Bolduc from Ruest. It's a push by Caleb Robinson.
But the fouls are starting to add up for Spring Mills. They're up to 5 now here in the first half. And Hedgesville only has 2. Great pass.
That shot is up and no good. Robinson secures the board. Is that a timeout?
I believe so, yeah. That was kind of a weird situation there. It looked like Cam Wilkes and Caleb Robinson were like tangled up on the ground.
All right, well, we'll step aside for a 30-second break here on that one. We'll be back after this 30-second break. You're tuned in to EPAC Hoops on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here, brought to you on TV 10. Second quarter brought to you on TV 10 by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer, 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsini's.com. Score update from the Section 2 championship game. It's a 3-point lead, 20-17, with 5:30 left in the second quarter for Jefferson over Musselman. Here it's a 19 tie ball game, or 19 all score between Spring Mills and Hedgesville. We've got another foul coming up here, 5:07 left in the second quarter.
A little surprised there. Not so much that Musselman's in the game, but the fact that it's been pretty high scoring in there in the game.
Yeah. Anderson inbounds it to Thomas. Thomas being double teamed. Over to Robinson. In the corner to Bordley. Ball nearly taken away, and it is a turnover out of bounds.
Spring Mills having some issues the last few possessions taking care of the basketball. Hedgesville hasn't necessarily converted on those turnovers, but they're definitely in a little bit of a funk offensively.
Ruest gets it past half court. He's trying to set up the offense. Over to Barclay. Barclay to Bolduc. He'll pop the three. Off the mark, no good. Ruest in perfect position for the rebound. Over to Wilkes. Wilkes going to dribble drive in. His shot's no good. Rebounded by Logan Bush. Bush now heads it up to Thomas. Now to Robinson. In the corner to Bush. He's going to pass it back to Robinson. Now over to Thomas. And a three coming from Robinson. Too much, too strong, out of bounds. Still a tie ball game here. 4:23 left in the first half.
Yeah, it's like 3 out of the last 4 possessions where Spring Mills hasn't really looked great offensively. But again, Hedgesville not pulling away, not really taking advantage of these mistakes. They're getting better looking shots, but they're not falling either.
Damon Cook now over to Jackson Ruest. And it will be an offensive.
No, it should be on Robinson. He ran right through Damon Cook.
He ran through the screen.
That's his second. So, I mean, they're really starting to
Caleb Thomas
pick him
and
up
Caleb
here.
Robinson both have 2 fouls a pop. Now we got one referee blowing the whistle.
And there's 6 on the Cardinals in total. So they're not doing a great job of keeping these fouls low.
Ball in now to Cook. Cook gets it past the timeline. 4 minutes and counting left to go in the first half. Barclay has it. Over to Wilkes. Wilkes turnaround. Shot is up and no good. Rebounded by none other than the EPAC Player of the Year, Caleb Thomas.
I thought that might have been a travel.
I don't know where that ball was trying to go, but it goes out of bounds and it's a turnover.
Looks like another miscommunication on the Spring Mills side. So can Hedgesville execute? They've been starting with kind of their 3 guys low and a little screen play to begin each possession.
3:35 to go. Tie ball game at 19. Been that way for the past few minutes. Over to Barclay. Barclay's jumper is good. Rolls around and in. Ends the tie. 21-19. Hedgesville takes its first lead of the contest. 3:15 left in the first half. And it's a Austin Davis 3 is no good. Ruest with the board going back the other way now. And that's a shot I don't necessarily like, Nick.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
quick,
really
quick
your.
trigger.
There's
But
another
Damon
quick
Cook's
one.
3, no good. Rebounded by Caleb Robinson.
Especially when you haven't got anything to go recently. If you're Spring Mills, another turnover.
Errant pass taken away by Wilkes. Wilkes gonna. No, it's going to be Max Anderson getting the charge there, so it'll be an offensive foul on Cam Wilkes, his second.
Anderson's one of the best at taking charges in the conference. Always seems to know how to get to the right position to draw that call.
Tay Wilmer checks in here. There's the bench being used for the first time with Wilkes at 2 fouls. Robinson with it. Over to Anderson at the top of the key. Trying to set up the offense. Back to Robinson. Down low to Anderson. He's going to turn around now. Pass back to Davis. Over to Bordley. Now to Thomas. 2:27 and counting. And a 3 coming from Davis. That's through. Spring Mills retakes the lead on the 3 from Austin Davis. He's now got 8. 22-21.
Well, Spring Mills finally got into its offensive set. Hedgesville hasn't changed anything defensively. They're still running man. It's just been sloppy possessions.
Thinks about the 3. Does Wilmer. His shot is no good. We got an offensive foul, it appears.
I called Ruest down low for a push. That's now the 5th on the Eagles, so foul's starting to get closer to even here.
2:01 to go in the first half.
First on Jackson.
Second quarter also brought to you on TV 10 by the Skinner Law Firm, injury and consumer rights lawyers. Call 304-245-6613. Go to skinnerfirm.com. Max Anderson has it. As DJ Bordley's going to check back in here momentarily. Now over to Davis. To Caleb Thomas at the top of the key. Over to Robinson. Now to Bush. Bush got to pass it again to Anderson. Anderson now to Bush once again. Over to Robinson. Clear lane to the basket, and he's fouled. He'll shoot two.
Well, Spring Mills has finally calmed back down and got into its offensive sets, running its motion offense to get much better looks. And there, Caleb Robinson found an open lane, was able to draw a foul. We'll see who can convert here from the line.
That shot is up and good, number one there from Robinson. And it looks like Cook will check out again with two fouls coming in is Zandon Gainey.
Only the second trip to the line here for Spring Mills tonight. And Robinson made the earlier trip on an and one.
Second shot on the way, straight through. 10 points now for Caleb Robinson leading the way. Over to Barclay. 1:21 to go in the first half. 24-21. Spring Mills on top. Now to Ruiz. He's going to drive the lane. Reverse layup, no good. Rebounded by Thomas. Thomas going to drive the lane to the basket. He's fouled. He'll shoot two.
Yeah, interesting take, but it ends up working out for Caleb Thomas. He had a couple guys open on the wing. But he knew, too, nobody was really picking him up. And with him standing at 6'5", he's going to go hard to the rim and try to get a basket to go. But what a game down there at Jefferson.
First shot on the way from Caleb Thomas is up and good. Yeah, 32-30. Musselman on top, a minute left in the first half. Second one from Thomas is up and no good. Rebounded by Hedgesville.
First point for Caleb Thomas here tonight. He's got the bad ankle, but also not always a guy that makes an impact with his scoring. He can do so many different things.
Over to Wilmer at the top of the key. To Ruiz. He'll pop the three. That's too much, no good, but rebounding it there was Gainey. That's no good. Another rebound, another shot up, no good. Rebounded by none other than Caleb Thomas. You mentioned he impacts the game in more ways than scoring, and that's what he does right there. I mean, he's got a ton of rebounds so far today.
Yeah, probably already has 5 or 6 rebounds in this first half. Has a couple block shots as well. So
he's got it now to Robinson here. 23 seconds on the clock. Going to wait for the last shot of the first half.
Yeah, Hedgesville has just gone cold.
Robinson now really guarded by Ruiz. He's going to take it to the rack. And that's through for Caleb Robinson, up to 12 points. 5 and 4 over to Barclay, and 3 and 2. His shot is up and no good. Tipped in by Jackson Ruiz at the buzzer. It's 27-23. We'll head to halftime. We'll be back after this 2-minute break. Wait, hold on. It's like Coach Samples just got teed up. Are they going to shoot it right now?
I did not see what happened, Spencer.
I didn't see what happened. I just saw the tee. But I guess we'll be back after this 2-minute break. I guess. Are we going to stay here?
Well, let's stay here because they might shoot the free throws, and we might also try to figure out what was said or what happened there.
Trying to get... Is it halftime yet? The clock's still at 10 minutes not started.
Well, they wouldn't go to halftime until they shot the free throws if this is a technical. Chris Ruiz just ran back into the locker room, I'm guessing, to grab whoever is going to be shooting. Luke Samples seems very confused by the technical foul call.
Yeah, I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out.
But it appears that there was a technical, which would mean, again, they would have the free throws either. It looks like they might do it at the beginning of the third quarter.
How about this? We'll take a 1-minute break. On the other side of that 1-minute break, we'll come back
let's
and
wait
have halftime.
Do it in the third quarter, probably. Try to make it to 2. It's because of your phone, I think.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com. Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place to have a great meal, a good time, and to catch all the games. Join us Mondays for 75-cent wings and follow your favorite team from the bar on our 17 TVs located all throughout the bar or from the outdoor fire pit. Ollie's has great food and drink menus and features specials for every day of the week, including Saturdays when you can get a 16-ounce ribeye steak grilled the way you want it for just $24.95. That's Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. We'll see you for the game.
Lawyers.com, and crazy ending to that first half. It appeared, from what we understand, a lot of other referees are here tonight, and they kind of explained some things to us. From what we understand is that Coach Samples may have been outside of the coaching box a little too much, maybe, and may have said choice words.
Yeah, that appears to be what it was. I might try to see if we can get some clarification here heading into the second half. Maybe whatever was said, though, wouldn't be appropriate anyway, so is more so likely the case, but just to get a clear call on what the technical was for. But overall, an exciting first half, and Hedgesville will shoot those 2 free throws to start the second half, which is kind of what we had figured. But really good first half between these two teams, really entertaining. Interested to see how things play out in the second half, Spencer.
This is some scoring updates here. First, we'll start for the team in the lead. That would be Spring Mills, 27-23 lead. Leading the way is Caleb Robinson with 12 points, 8 points for Austin Davis, 3 points for Max Anderson, 3 points for DJ Bordley, and 1 point for Caleb Thomas. On the Hedgesville side, 8 points for Cam Wilkes, 7 points for Jackson West, 4 points for Stephon Barclay, and 2 points apiece for Damon Cook and Christian Bolduc. We'll be back after this 2-minute break. You'll hear Dylan Bishop back in the studio having a halftime update score for the Jefferson and Musselman game. You're tuned in to the EPAC Section 1 Championship on Talk Radio WRNR TV 10. Back in 2 minutes.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
Heffley Motor Company, just off I-81 at 993 Hedgesville Road, is a family-owned and operated business providing the Eastern Panhandle with the highest quality pre-owned vehicles and customer service since 1997. Heffley is a pre-owned Carfax Advantage dealer. We're proud to be your partner, serving the community. You're local, we're local, so why not buy local? Call us at 304-267-7172 or see us at 993 Hedgesville Road. And if you want to sell your car, we buy cars too. Check us out at Heffley.com. Heffley Motor Company, a nice place to do business.
Welcome into the N1 Halftime Scoreboard Show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Your halftime score from the Spring Mills Cardinals Coliseum is Hedgesville 23, Spring Mills 27. 27-23, Spring Mills leading Hedgesville in the sectional championship here at halftime. And then in the other sectional championship we have going on right now, it is 36-35, Jefferson currently over Musselman. The N1 Halftime Scoreboard Show brought to you by Mountaineer Pub, located at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway in Martinsburg. We'll get you some scores, updates from the rest of the sports world right now. In the NBA, there is one game currently started right now, and it's the Magic up 30-22 against the Hornets in Charlotte. Some games that are about to tip off: Trailblazers and Hawks in Atlanta, and the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Boston Celtics on ESPN in Boston. And one game going on in the NHL as it currently stands: the Kraken and the Blue Jackets scoreless, approaching the end of one period. And we'll get you back to the guys out at the Cardinal Coliseum here in just a second. Spencer and Nick on the call. Again, 27-23, Spring Mills over Hedgesville at the half, and currently Jefferson over Musselman 36-35 in the sections championships in the region. This has been the N1 Halftime Scoreboard Show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Be back at the court in 2 minutes.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Located right off 81 at 214 Mid-Atlantic Parkway, Mountaineer Grill and Pub offers many daily specials, including happy hour 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with $2 domestic bottles and $2.50 domestic drafts. Monday night is trivia night, Thursday night is wing night, and Wednesday and Sunday night is steak night.
Let's go! Drink some beers! Mountaineer Grill and Pub!
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here. Under a minute left to go here into the start of the half. An interesting ending to that half, Nick.
Yeah, again, we don't know exactly what was said. The officials just now coming out, so trying to get some clarification here from the official. Looks like it was, they're going to start the second half with the free throws up here. So we really get some clarification there, Spencer.
Yeah,
want to clear it up.
So it was a language issue. He used language he shouldn't have used. And I guess it was a little testy between, it was actually that referee that I spoke to. But they're going to start with Hedgesville. Will take 2 shots from the technical. They'll receive the ball, and they won't lose the possession arrow.
Okay, yeah, that's huge then.
Yeah.
Because not only is it 2 shots on the ball, but you get to keep the arrow for the start of the second half, so you're already getting the ball to start the second half, and then you get the next possession on a jump ball. So pretty big here, and this could be, what ties this game up to begin this third quarter if the Eagles are able to execute at a high rate. So we'll see how it plays out, but, definitely, an interesting start here to the half. It looks like Tay Wilmer's going to shoot him for the Eagles.
His shot is up and good. He's going to get one more. It's his first points of the game. Second one is up and good. It'll be Hedgesville possession.
That hurts. I don't know what was said, obviously, but it was choice language, so it's kind of depends on the official probably on what you say, but I'm going to guess it was probably something pretty bad.
Yeah.
Not FCC appropriate.
There you go. Drew West inbounds to the Cook. Now over to Bolduc. Bolduc gets the screen. He passes that one to Wilkes. Wilkes now to Ruest. Over to Bolduc. Bolduc gets the screen. Back to Barclay. Barclay dribble drives through the lane. Passes it to Ruest. Thinks about the shot. Going to turn around. Back to Barclay. Barclay back to Ruest. Thinks about the shot. Doesn't have enough time there. He's going to dribble drive through the lane. Turn around. Shot is up and good.
This is a 4-point swing.
4-point swing, as Nick just mentioned there. And Ruest is up to 9 points. We're tied up here at 27. 7:17 to go in the third quarter.
I wanted to talk about before we had the whole technical and everything, and I kind of forgot, the timing by Jackson Ruest on that tip ball, and he is so good at timing those offensive rebounds. So really it's a 6-point swing here because you got the last points of the quarter, and then you add those 4 points to start on one possession.
Robinson with it, going to take it back out. Third quarter brought to you on TV 10 by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com for more. Over to Thomas. Thomas is going to drive the lane. His shot's up and no good. And that's rebounded by the Eagles in Cam Wilkes. And all the momentum now swinging the Eagles' way. And a three coming from Bolduc. That's through! And the Hedgesville crowd erupts here on this side of the gym at the Cardinal Coliseum. And that forces a timeout for head coach Luke Samples. We'll take one with them. Eagles take their second lead of the ball game. They're up 30-27. We're back in 30 seconds.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
To the Cardinal Coliseum here, 30-27 lead for the Eagles over the Cardinals. 6:23 to go in the third quarter. Third quarter also brought to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance Group in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. Will be Spring Mills possession down 3. Inbound to Thomas. Thomas to Anderson. Over to Bordley. Now it's back to Thomas. Thomas going to dribble through the lane, put up a shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Wilkes. Up ahead to Cook. Cook's layup is no good. Bordley was there, but a shot up and good. I think that was Ruest.
I think it's Cam Wilkes, actually.
Cam Wilkes. Wilkes' first point of the second half, and it's a charge taken by Hedgesville and Jackson Ruest. And it's, I mentioned a moment ago, all the momentum swinging in the Eagles' favor.
Yeah, it's all Hedgesville, and Spring Mills just got another technical. That one, I think, on DJ Bordley. And, I mean, you got to be better disciplined if you are the Spring Mills Cardinals. Technicals in high school basketball, or really in any level, are huge. But especially in a close game, you're getting now a technical on your coach before halftime and then a technical on a player. And those lead to potentially 4 free points for Hedgesville and also 2 extra possessions for Hedgesville is guaranteed. So, and then also you're allowed to sub in who you want to shoot. So you can sub in Tay Wilmer, who's obviously their best free throw shooter. And if he's money, I mean, this is just the difference in the game potentially. And so far he's money.
3 points now for him, 33-27.
And I get it. Things aren't going your way, but sometimes things don't go your way, and it's about how you respond.
That's a good point there, Nick. 34-27 is the score. 5:53 to go in the third quarter. Hedgesville possession.
Some might say, Spencer, sometimes you get punched in the mouth, is what I'm trying to say.
All right. That was a good one, too. Bolduc with it. Over to Wilmer. In the corner to Ruiz, to Barclay at the top of the key. He's going to pass it back to Ruiz. Ruiz is going to dribble drive through the lane, and he's going to get fouled. Is that Caleb Thomas's third foul of the night?
It is, yeah. Now, not as huge here in the third quarter, but, I mean, there is a lot of time. But if he were to pick up a fourth here soon, you are in trouble.
Ruiz at the line. He's already got 9 points, looking to make it 10, and he does there into double figures. He's now 2 for 4 tonight at the charity stripe. Waiting. Make sure Coach Church gets his players back. Now they're talking at the...
You're not certain what the discussion is here, but Coach Church is going to take it as an opportunity as a timeout. Just to say a few things to his guys, but I mean, what a start to the second half for Hedgesville. And I'll make another point here depending on how Ruiz's free throw turns out, but
second free throw up and straight through. He's now at 11 points.
So, I mean, it's been all Hedgesville. You've been outscored in the second half of your Spring Mills, and 6 of those points are due to technical fouls. And you have 0 points so far to start the second half.
Yeah, about 3 minutes into the second half here. Thomas with it, hands it off to Bush. Bush is going to launch a 3. That's no good off the front of the iron, no good. Wilkes with the board. Over to Wilmer, now in the corner to Barclay. He's going to hand it off to Wilkes. Over to Wilmer, to Barclay. He's going to dribble in back to Wilmer. He thinks about the 3, decides to dribble in. His layup is no good. Caleb Thomas fighting for it, and he gets it back over to Davis. Davis back to Thomas. To Bush from 3 on the other side, no good. But rebounded by Max Anderson. Down to Thomas. Thomas going to dribble through the lane. Spin around shot is good. Score the field goal. He'll go to the line.
Well, you need him. You need your EPAC Player of the Year down the stretch. He's got 3 fouls. How does he respond? We know it's not all about scoring for Caleb Thomas, but when you're in a drought, who else can you rely on at this point in the season other than number 3?
That free throw is up and good. Now a 6-point deficit for the Cardinals. 36-30 in favor of the Eagles. 4:29 to go in the third quarter. Ruiz over to Wilmer. Back to Ruiz to the top of the key. Step back. Decides to pass it over to Wilmer. Gets the screen from Wilkes. And Bolduc can't get the pass from Wilmer. It'll be out of bounds. Turnover. Looks like Jefferson has opened it up to a 47-38 lead right now over Musselman. Thomas with it, guarded by Barclay. Now over to Anderson, who's guarded by Cook. Gets kind of the screen, now over to Thomas in the corner. To Davis just inside the three-point arc. That's good. Austin Davis now in the double figures with 10. Makes it a 4-point deficit. 36-32, 3:42 to go in the quarter. Barclay to Cook. He'll shoot the three. That's off the mark, no good. But Barclay fights, and it'll go out of bounds. As he touches it out of bounds, it'll be Spring Mills possession, 3:34 to go in the quarter.
Well, the Cardinals have responded here now. Back to a 4-point game. You're back in it. You're going to need to continue to have good possessions, but it looks like potentially, that's not good. You can't have Caleb Thomas out of the game for blood. It doesn't appear to be his own blood, at least. Whatever the case may have been there, I'm not exactly certain, but he's still in the game.
Logan Bush going to pop another three. That's airballed, no good. Anderson tries to keep it in. Thomas has it. Ball's taken away by Ruest. Up to Wilkes, who thinks about the three, decides to dribble in. The hesitation, he's fouled.
So Cam Wilkes to the line here, and DJ Borley going to come back in after picking up that crucial technical a few moments ago. You talk to him a little bit, get his mind right. You're going to need him. He's a big scorer for this team, especially with how the roster's constructed now. You need Bordley to play good minutes for you.
First shot by Wilkes is up and through, 37-32.
I mean, he only has 3 tonight, but if he can get going, he could play a huge factor.
Second shot from Wilkes, straight through. He's got 12 now. Caleb Thomas with it, taking it up as point guard. Over to Anderson. Max Anderson, that is. Back to Thomas. He's going to pass it in the corner. There's 2 guys there. That's DJ Bordley. Gets it over to Davis. Davis kind of stuck now. Backward, behind the back pass now to Thomas. Over to Davis in the corner. Back to Max Anderson. Back to Thomas now at the top of the key. Thomas dribble drives in. Jumper is no good. Barclay with the rebound going back the other way. A 6-point lead for the Eagles. 2:33 to go in the third. Ruest with it. Over to Bolduc. Now to the top of the key with Barclay. Back to Ruest, now over to Bolduc, trying to set up the offense a little bit here.
Yeah, Hedgesville has the lead. This is where they're comfortable. They like playing with the lead late in games. They're not late quite.
Ruest has a clear lane to the basket. His layup is no good. Damon Cook with the rebound. That falls through. Damon Cook now with 4 points.
But you just got to be patient when you have the lead, and there's no reason to force things and get easy baskets like you eventually did there after you really worked hard for it.
Errant pass. They're going to call a foul on that one.
Yep, on Damon Cook. Good effort, though, from both sides on that play.
His third foul. Caleb Robinson checking back in, as well as T. Wilmer checks in for Damon Cook. DJ Bordley checks out.
And that's the third on Cook.
Into Xavier Anderson. He's going to pass it to his brother Max. Max Anderson now. Caleb Robinson back to Anderson. Thinks about the three. He's going to dribble around. Pass to Thomas for the three. That is no good. Rebounded by Bolduc. Bolduc out to Wilmer.
Tay Wilmer's played some good minutes here as of late for the Eagles.
Barclay with it, guarded by Davis. He gets around Davis. He's going to pass it down low to Wilkes. His shot's no good. Barclay with the board. Shot no good. Rebounded by Bolduc. Bolduc. His shot is up and good. Christian Bolduc now with 7 points, a 42-32 lead. And we've got 2 players tied up. And Coach Church is telling Bolduc, get back with your team.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, he knows the officials are not letting things slide tonight. The last thing you need is a technical. And Christian Bolduc and Kelly Church hug it out on the sideline. And it's just like, hey, you can't be talking to the official if you disagree with a call. You just got to keep playing.
Yeah. Under 45 now, seconds to go in the third quarter. Eagles on top, 42-32. Caleb Robinson now. Over to Thomas. Thomas has the ball taken up, is able to get it back. His shot's up and no good. Barclay running the court with the steal. He spins around, and that layup is good! Stephon Barclay makes it 44-32 under 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. And an exciting comeback here for the Eagles.
It just seems like Hedgesville kind of wants it more than Spring Mills at times tonight. They've been going after the loose balls. That was a great effort play by Stephon Barclay. Cam Wilkes is all over the ball.
Caleb Thomas now down to Xavier Anderson. He's going to lay it up and in. And that's the end of the third quarter. A 10-point lead for the Eagles, 44-34. We're back after this 1 minute break to get things started in the fourth quarter. You're tuned in to the EPAC Section 1 championship game on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10 back at 60.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here at Spring Mills High School in the Section 1 championship game as the Eagles are up over the Cardinals. It would be an upset here, 44-34. And we'll check on the Jefferson game. They're up 55-38 now. Ball inbounded now. Barclay has it. He's going to get around Xavier Anderson. He'll pass it back to Ruest. Down low to Wilkes. He loses the basketball though. Caleb Robinson gets it going back the other way now. Slowing it down, he'll pass it to Max Anderson. To DJ Bordley. Bordley's layup is no good, but he's fouled.
Yeah, good take to the rim for DJ Bordley. Trying to go hard to the basket, draws the foul. He's a little bit frustrated that he didn't make the shot, but overall, you like that take and what he was able to do. And Spring Mills is going to need that. Down by 10 here, you got to be able to score. The clock stopped.
At the line is Bordley. He makes the first one. He's up to 4 points. Bordley shooting his second one here. That's up and good. He's got 5. Fourth quarter brought to you on TV 10 by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first. 44-36 is the score. Cook guarded by Anderson with, I was going to say they got to call a foul here. I mean, Xavier Anderson had his arms all over Damon Cook and then ran into Caleb Robinson.
Looks like we got a timeout as well, Spencer.
We'll take one with them. We'll be back after this 30-second break. You're tuned into the Section 1 championship game on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 back at 30.
Caleb Robinson just fouled out.
You can play, work, and explore without joint pain. Whether it's a strain, sprain, or fracture, WVU Medicine, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine can help you live without joint pain. Our expert team of surgeons offer the exceptional care you expect for the injuries you don't, specializing in joint replacement, sports and traumatic injuries, hip and knee disorders, foot and ankle surgery, hand and wrist surgery, and shoulder reconstruction. Call 304-725-BONE today to learn how you can live without joint pain.
Game resumed earlier than expected as Caleb Robinson fouls out of the ball game with his 5th foul, and they're trying to kind of sort that out. Ball now to Barclay. Barclay's layup is up and good. Stephon Barclay makes it a 10-point lead again.
Excellent pass. Now we got a timeout.
We'll keep it here.
Hedgesville, though, pulling away, up by 10. They've really set the tone. I mean, the second half, I think it comes down to Spring Mills just made some silly mental errors to start the second half, and that put them behind, and then they never really got into any sort of rhythm, and now you're up 10 if you are Hedgesville. You feel pretty confident. Game is far from over. There's still a lot of time left in this one, and Spring Mills can't pick it back up, but I mean, one of your better scorers, at least in this game here tonight, Caleb Robinson, is now fouled out. He hasn't scored in the second half, but still, you're losing 12 points right there and your senior leadership. And in this second half, you just haven't seen scoring consistently from really anyone. So who's going to step up for the Cardinals? Caleb Thomas is hobbled with a bad ankle entering the game, so we don't know how healthy he is. You hope that he can, step up for you, but you really don't have much consistent scoring on this roster in terms of what's out there for Spring Mills. So who's going to be the guy that steps up? Maybe it's Boardley. Maybe it's Thomas, but, I mean, if he can go, you expect him to play his level of play, and we've seen some good things, but you need some scoring here down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, that really changes it. I mean, Robinson, he had 12 points for you, your leading scorer. Boardley, a 3. That's off the mark, no good. Rebounded by Wilkes.
What I like about DJ Boardley is he wants the big shot.
Ball
even though he didn't make it.
Ruiz going to drive the basket. Nice! I don't even know how to do that. Call that shot. A hook shot. Running hook shot. And he lays that one in. He's now got 13.
Oh, Jackson Ruiz was going to get a steal there. But, I mean, he's making a run at our player of the game here tonight. He's just been playing really good in the second half. But I think it's going to be tough, Spencer, if Hedgesville holds on, because it has been a complete team effort.
I mean, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. I said that all last week.
And especially a team as good as Hedgesville can be. And this is the best we've seen them.
And another turnover.
I mean, they are all over the basketball. Bolduc, Wilkes, Cook, Barclay, Ruiz. These guys are bringing it on the defensive end. And that's where Hedgesville's at its best. Now, that is the 4th foul on Damon Cook. Luckily, though, you have the depth. You can go to a guy like Tay Wilmer, who was a starter at times for you last year, was a starter at times for you this year. So you have enough depth that it's not the end of the world to have a guy in foul trouble, as long as it's not one of your big scorers.
And a ball taken away by Wilkes. He's going to lay that one up, and in Cam Wilkes, now with 14 points and another timeout. We'll take one with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're tuned in to the EPAC Section 1 Championship game on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Back in 30.
Hello, this is Mark Sutton of the Sutton & Janelle Law Firm. The right attorney can make all the difference in your case. That's why you should call Sutton & Janelle. We have been serving clients in West Virginia and Maryland since 1999 in the areas of family law, DUI, criminal defense, and personal injury. Sutton & Janelle works hard to obtain a favorable outcome for you at a reasonable rate with affordable payment options. Sutton & Janelle values your rights and is passionate about your success. Contact us today at suttonandjanelle.com.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum here with the Eagles on top 50-36 in the Section 1 championship game. Winner will host the loser of Jefferson Musselman, which right now with about 5 minutes to go, it's an 18-point lead for Jefferson. So looking like Hedgesville will host Musselman if things stay the way they are for a 50-36 lead in this one, 5:30 to go. Xavier Anderson nearly has it taken away. It's Davis from three. That's no good. That's Xavier Anderson with the board. He lays that one up and in.
So just
He's got 4.
11 points this half for Spring Mills.
Wilmer taking it up. He passes it over to Bolduc. Now to Barclay. Stephon Barclay, who transferred in from Martinsburg High School this year. Ruest with it. He passes that over to Barclay. Back to Wilmer. Wilmer stuck in the top of the key. He's going to pass it back to Ruest. Ruest is going to dribble drive at the free throw line. Stop now to Wilmer. Wilmer's layup is no good. Rebounded by Caleb Thomas.
But no call there.
To Max Anderson. Max Anderson could have been a foul there by Wilmer as well. Over to Caleb Thomas. Caleb Thomas now to Max Anderson. He can't keep it in. And it just kind of seems like a meltdown here.
I mean,
everything just seems to be falling apart.
It's just not going Spring Mills' way in the second half. I think Coach Samples kind of knows it because he just pulled Bush and Thomas.
Ball taken away by Barclay. Over to Wilkes, and Wilkes lays it up and in.
Which is not a great situation.
16 points for Cam Wilkes. A three on the way. And that three coming from Smith.
Just checked into the game, comes in and hits a three, and it's not over yet. I mean, it's an 11-point game with plenty of time.
All right, well, we will step aside for a 30-second break here with this full timeout. You're tuned into the Class Quad A Region 2 Section 1 championship game with the Eagles on top of the Cardinals, 52-41. We're back in 30 seconds.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome back to Spring Mills High School here as we're at the Class Quad A Region 2 Section 1 championship game with Hedgesville on top of Spring Mills, the number 2 leading the number 1 here in the Section 1 championship game, 52-41. About 4:15 left in the contest. Fourth quarter also brought to you on TV 10 by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. As it'll be Hedgesville basketball. Ruest to inbound it. Over to Wilkes. Wilkes going to slow it down here. 4:14 to go. Over to Barclay. Barclay to Wilkes. Now to Wilmer. And Wilmer moves around. Going to pass it to Barclay in the corner. 3:50 to go here in the contest. Ball now to Bolduc, now to Wilmer. To Ruest. Ruest is going to drive in the lane past to Wilmer, come back to the top of the key. And this is Kelly Church style basketball that we know, trying to run kind of some time off the clock here. The ball taken away almost, kept in by Wilkes.
It's just smart basketball. When you're up 11, there's no shot clock in the state of West Virginia. There's no reason to rush anything. Force them to foul you and make your free throws. And not only do you get free throws, but you get it with Tay Wilmer, who's obviously been the guy that they're looking for free throws for Hedgesville because they've had him shoot the technicals so far tonight, and he's 4 for 4.
It's Austin Davis's first foul of the night. Wilmer at the line. That first one in the 1-and-1 is up and good. (53-41), a 12-point lead. Wilmer looking to make it a 13-point lead, and he does. He's got 6 points, and all on free throws. He's the guy you want at the line in critical situations. Caleb Thomas with it now. That one batted away, but able to get it was Us Smith. Now to Davis. To Max Anderson, thinks about the three, being guarded tightly by Wilmer. He's going to go in and lay that up and in. Max Anderson now with 5 points. And things are getting rough here in the Cardinal Coliseum.
Well, they just called an offensive foul on Cam Wilkes, so momentum could flip towards Spring Mills here with 2:50 to go. I mean, this game's far from over. It's an 11-point game. It does seem like Hedgesville's in control, obviously, but it's not over yet. They're going to get the towel out on the court, clean up the spot where Max Anderson fell on the ground, so good work by the manager here.
Ruiz pointing out where it is.
Teamwork makes the dream work here.
There
but
you go.
11-point game in favor of the Eagles, Spencer, and
check on that game over on Section 2. It's a 67-43 lead for Jefferson. 2.5 minutes to go. Foregone conclusion that Jefferson's going to win.
So Bordley gets it to the rack there and gets the foul called, but I mean, Spring Mills needs buckets, and the guy they call bucket, Caleb Robinson's fouled out. So, I mean, you're kind of in trouble here, but a guy that, like I said, DJ Bordley wants the ball in his hands in the big moments. You can just tell by how he handles.
First free throw is up and good.
He only has 5 tonight, but if he can convert from the line, now 6, could be huge down the stretch. You need somebody, and he might be your guy.
Bordley, a sophomore. His second shot is up and good, and Bordley really came on when he had to. With Keyshawn Cheek being off the team, he came and stepped up halfway through the year. Ball up to Barclay, now in the corner to Wilmer. Wilmer pops up to the top of the key and over to Bolduc. Bolduc travels.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Christian Bolduc initially probably wanted to shoot that 3, but knew it wasn't the smart shot in this situation. But then once he had hesitated and drived in, kind of lost his position. Great play.
Wilkes takes it away, and he's going to lay that one up and in. 58-45, Wilkes.
Cam Wilkes has been everywhere tonight.
Bordley's shot is knocked around. Barclay with it.
They like the effort on both ends here.
They didn't put the points up, did they, Nick?
No, they did.
Oh, I thought it was 56 already. But
no, it was 54.
56-45. We got a foul here.
Yeah, great effort on both sides here. Eventually, Spring Mills comes away with the basketball, and DJ Bordley is able to get to the rim and draw a foul again. So,
Bordley at the line.
You do want to cut down on these late fouls if you're the Eagles, but still good stuff here, I think, for the most part on both sides there.
Second shot on the way. That one's no good as well. Rebounded by Ruiz. Bolduc's going to have to pass it to Wilkes. Wilkes going to have to get past the timeline here. And he doesn't. He gets fouled. Oh.
Now, unless I missed something, Caleb Thomas has been on the bench, and I know he's playing injured. I don't believe he fouled out. I only had him at 3, I believe. Yeah. So, what my thought process is that Spring Mills recognizes that while you want to win this game for momentum, the trophy doesn't mean that much. I mean, you want home court and all that, but like maybe it does have to do with his injury. They don't want him in the game here late.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't sit your EPAC Player of the Year in this game with the score being still relatively close.
Xavier Anderson with it under the basket. He lays it up and in.
But Xavier Anderson's going to be a force for this team.
Ball nearly taken away. Barclay able to get it. And Ruiz with the smart play taps it off of Max Anderson.
Yeah, two just great hustle guys, Max Anderson, Jackson Ruiz. Both of them are quarterbacks on their football teams, and Ruiz just making a smart play too on the great hustle though by both sides.
1:31 to go in the ball game. A 56-47 lead for the Eagles. Ball inbounded to Barkley on the other end. He tried to get the Bolduc. Ball goes out of bounds off of Xavier Anderson. Ball.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since...
Nicole, it's a 56-49 ball game, 1:10 to go in the fourth quarter, excuse me. Anderson. They're going to call a foul on him?
No, it's going to go on Hedgesville. I mean, Hedgesville, or Spring Mills is right back in the game. 56-49. Just over a minute. You're going to see fouls down the stretch. Coach Samples, we got a timeout, I think.
All right, well, what we missed was a technical foul, Nick, and DJ Bordley shot it, and he made them both. So we're at a 56-49 ball game. The Eagles are on top, 1:06 to go.
It looks like an official's timeout. We've had quite a few of those here in these final moments. I mean, they've had some weird calls throughout the game. We've had technicals, stuff like that. But, hey, I mean, like I said, Spring Mills is right in it still. 56-49, just over a minute. Again, it's going to take some luck, but, I mean, you can definitely pull it off here. You need this free throw.
That's Xavier Anderson.
He's played really well.
First one is up and good.
It appears
7.
Again, unless we maybe miscalculated or something, Caleb Thomas hasn't been in the game, and Anderson's filled his role.
Second shot is up and no good. Bordley, the big man, likes to be there in big time. He gets the rebound. Back to Max Anderson now. 59 to go. A three from Bordley. That's no good. Rebounded by Barclay. Up to Ruiz, the football pass. He lays that one up and in! Jackson Ruiz makes it 58-50, 48.3 seconds to go in the contest.
Yeah, I mean, you have a breakdown defensively, but then you get a great outlet pass from Barclay to Ruiz. So, I mean, the Eagles up by 8 here. Again, you got to play defense without fouling if you're Hedgesville. If you're Spring Mills, You have time, but you're probably looking for the just best shot available. You can definitely go for the 2 if that is your choice, but whatever the best shot is here in an 8-point game with under a minute to go. But it's not over. You got to stay in it. You got to find something here if you're Spring Mills. I mean, it's been tough. Caleb Robinson fouled out. Caleb Thomas obviously hasn't been himself tonight.
Final from Jefferson. They move on to host the region tournament. 73-45. The loser will travel to Jefferson next week. The winner will host Musselman on Wednesday.
That is quite the turnaround. Wasn't it like 42-40?
Yeah.
And then it ends up 45 for Musselman?
Yes. Yes, Nick, yes.
That's tough. I mean,
very, very tough.
We weren't there, but I'm going to guess that the Cougars might have got hot a little bit shooting the basketball.
Yeah,
just a
probably.
little.
I mean, it seems like that's what they do.
Really, they were great the whole game, it seems like, shooting, but just defensively they weren't maybe in the game yet until second half there.
Under 45 seconds to go, an 8-point lead for the Eagles. Max Anderson, as he's driving to the basket, they're going to call a blocking foul on Hedgesville. Shooting 2 will be Max Anderson. That foul on Damon Cook, and he fouls out of the game. Oh, no, it's not on Damon. It's on Ruiz. He's got his 4. They had 4 left up there. That shot is up and good for Max Anderson. He's now got 6. Makes it a 7-point game, 40.9 left to go. Second shot on the way. That rolls out no good. Ruiz gets the board. Down to Barclay. Barclay, shot rejected. Out of bounds. It'll be Hedgesville basketball, 33.7 to go.
Did you happen to see who got that rejection there?
Might have been Anderson.
Yeah, I believe it was.
Max Anderson. Ball over to Bolduc. Bolduc to Wilmer. Under 30 seconds now to go to Ruiz. They're going to foul Bolduc, and Bolduc's going to the line. As the Hedgesville faithful and student section applauds the Eagles coming into this game as the number 2 seed in the section. And they're up by 7, looking to make it more here at 26.1 seconds to go. As Wilkes comes out of the game, and Zandon Gainey checks in. Bolduc's first shot is up and no good. Bordley with it. He's going to dribble drive. His layup is no good. Ruiz gets the board. Pass over to Wilmer and over to Barclay, and Barclay's fouled by Davis. As Christian Bolduc says, let's go, to get the crowd going. As you can hear them here, those Hedgesville Eagles crowd tonight.
You know what's funny too, Spencer? Like, even though the game's pretty much over, 7-point game, 10 seconds, Kelly Church is still yelling on what they're going to run for defense.
Hey, he told you guys that a couple weeks ago when he was in studio.
He never stops coaching.
He never
and
stops
you love
coaching.
It.
The final whistle, the final buzzer goes off, and his coaching's done.
And Luke Samples is kind of the same way. He's calling a timeout here with 8.9 seconds of his team down 7. I mean, you don't have a 7-point play, but again, you never know it can happen, and you got to be able to prepare for these kind of situations. Next week, you're probably going to Jefferson now if you're Spring Mills. You've struggled against the Cougars all season, but you may be in a similar situation where it's a close game down the stretch. How do you execute? And this can help you prepare for that type of situation. And it's been tough, too, because Robinson's fouled out, Thomas is injured. But how do you execute down the stretch? How do you get your team better in these moments? And this is an opportunity to do so.
That it is here. We're under 10 seconds to go in this one. And barring a crazy ending here, Nick, you can hear the "I believe we will win" chants coming from the student section for the Eagles and the cheerleaders.
Yeah, it's pretty much all but over at this point, but I mean, anything could happen if you get fouled on a three, something crazy. I mean, it's not super realistic, but you never know.
Ball into Max Anderson, now to Bordley. Bordley turns it over, and he's fouled. Barclay's fouled with 3.3 to go.
Yep. That all but seals the deal. And again, Kelly Church still yelling out instructions.
Yeah.
With a ton of intensity.
There's 3.3 seconds left in the game, up by 7. It is all but over. Going to the line is Barclay. Now the "This is our house" chants coming out from the Hedgesville Eagles student section as the officials talk things over.
Taking so long with the officials here.
Coach Church wanted a timeout. Now Coach Samples is going to ask, what is that for? But I believe we've got a timeout. A full timeout here. We'll step aside for a 30-second break. On the other side of this break, we'll get the final 3.3 seconds of action. You're tuned in to the EPAC Region 2 Section 1 Championship game on Talk Radio WRNR 210 back in 30.
You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Welcome back to the Cardinal Coliseum as the fans, a max exodus from the Cardinals fans here. 58-51, Spring Mills on top, 3.3 seconds left. Barclay at the line.
Yeah, final few stat patterns here for Stephon Barclay. Good game for him tonight.
He's got 8 points. One is misses the first one. He's got 8, looking to make it 9.
But his defense has been really good. I think overall that's going to be the story of the game, Spencer.
Second one is good, 59-51, and Anderson will get it. He'll pick it up and shoot a heave, but the buzzer goes off, and Hedgesville is your Region 2 Section 1 champions, winning 59-51 in a come-from-behind fashion. And it kind of just seemed like a monumental collapse.
It was definitely an interesting game. The third quarter is the difference here tonight. You get a 21-point third quarter out of Hedgesville compared to just 7 in the third quarter for the Cardinals. They played much better in the fourth, but it ended up being too little too late.
As the Bluebirds rain out for Hedgesville, we're looking for Colin.
Yeah, Colin's got Coach Church, so he's going to probably bring him over to us. But what a win for the Eagles. You were swept in the regular season by Spring Mills, and you find a way to win the game.
And Coach Church is coming over here.
Colin almost looks like Coach Church's security guard.
He really does. We're joined by Hedgesville Eagles head coach Kelly Church. An emotional victory for your team tonight, a comeback victory, 59-51. What did it take from your team tonight?
Well, first of all, hats off to Spring Mills. They came out on fire, hitting them from deep with us trying to stop them from shooting from deep. Their kids played really, really hard. I thought they did a really, really good job, especially early on. The same adage that I've been talking about for the last few weeks. We got punched in the mouth. Sometimes when you get punched in the mouth, You got to suck it up and find a way to get through the game. So we were able to suck it up, and I'm really, really proud of our kids. So everybody's aware, the same staff that was responsible for the last debacle at our place, because I wasn't there, I was just as much a part of that loss as I was this win. It's because our staff does a tremendous job working together. In no way is the last game on those guys, and this game my big great job. We did it as a team. Our kids played as a team, and I'm super proud.
Coach, third quarter, you guys outscore Spring Mills 21-7. What did you kind of tell the guys at halftime, and how did you make those adjustments defensively to hold them to just 7 points in the third?
Well, they have so many good shooters, and we talked about we got to pressure, which we did. And in some cases, we're pressuring kids that are pretty good at going downhill, not necessarily good shooters. So we made a little bit of an adjustment and made sure that we showed more help off certain guys and pressured other guys. We were worried about doing that in the beginning because sometimes we just don't bring the energy that we need to bring. So, a little bit of an adjustment. Super proud of our kids again.
And you kind of used Taylor Wilmer differently this year from last year, but he's been an asset to your team off the bench this year. He comes off, and he is just a free throw machine. Nails 6 of 6 tonight.
Absolutely. He knows anytime there's a technical on the other team, Tay's shooting the free throws. He doesn't miss very often. He almost never misses when he's out there all by himself in that situation. He's done it for the last couple of years. Again, super proud of our kids, man. I just can't say enough. My staff, our administration, hostile environment. Can't thank our administration enough for supporting me and supporting our kids.
And, Coach, you talked about the defensive intensity, and once you really turned that up, it became your game and you were in control. And guys that stood out, Cam Wilkes all over the ball, it seems like on every possession. Christian Bolduc as well. Stephon Barclay, Jackson Ruess. That starting five, those guys just were all over the court, and it seemed like they wanted it more at times and were really giving that second effort.
Yeah, and like this will sound silly, but the one person you didn't name is Damon Cook. And Damon Cook, I know, I'm not taking anything away from you guys, don't take it that way. Damon Cook, tremendous job defensively. Every parent wants their kid to play. Every parent wants their kid to play all the time. I kept telling Damon in practice every single day, we give you opportunities every day in practice. Prove it in practice, you'll get your opportunity in the game. He proved it in practice, he got his opportunity in the games, and that's why he's been playing a lot more for us lately. No one got demoted, he got promoted. We're super, again, I can't say super proud enough. Obviously an emotional win. I don't know. Our kids have had to experience some things in terms of this game that I'm just going to say kids shouldn't have to experience some of the things that we've had to experience in a high school basketball game. That's why it's so emotional for me. Our kids withstood all that. Whether it's, it's sometimes it's grown adults. It's not student sections. I'm all about that. You got grown adults going after kids. Sometimes that bothers me.
One final question for you. You guys are one win away from heading back to Charleston, and it's going to take taking down Musselman on Wednesday at home. What do you want to tell all the fans listening?
Musselman's really, really good. This year, what we've done in the past for the EPAC championship and voting stuff is like, I can't think enough of Tech. He's a super guy. I think he does a great job. Because he has so many athletes, I don't think he gets enough credit sometimes. But he's coach of the year. But if you ask me, okay, well, who's the next coach of the year? It's not us. It's Derek Basile and his staff. I think they've done a tremendous job. They got one of their guys back. And they're playing way, way better regardless of what happened tonight. I just have the utmost respect. And don't get me wrong, I really, really want to go to Charleston. I want it for our kids. Like Chris and I tell them all the time, we go either way. We'd like for them to go with us. It's a little bit of a different experience. But with that being said, again, ton of respect for Musselman and Derek and his kids. I think they're a class program, and I wish them nothing but the best.
All right, Coach, congrats on the win. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
That was head coach Kelly Church of the victorious Section 1 champion Hedgesville Eagles. We'll step aside for a 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll have the postgame show. You're tuned in to the EPAC Section 1 championship coverage on Talk Radio WRNR and TV10. Back in 2 minutes.
If you're in an accident, the first thing that you have to do is call 911. You have to get medical care immediately.
The next thing you need to do is call us. When you hire us at the Skinner Law Firm, what we do is we are going to investigate your case, and we're going to lay out the options that you have, all at no cost to you.
We will use all of our resources and all of our experience to get you what you deserve.
The Skinner Law Firm, SkinnerFirm.com.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. You've put up with your water long enough. It's time for Sunset Water Services, your local water solution since 1989, to fix your water problems. Get better tasting, better smelling, and better looking water today. Say hello to drinking your own delicious water for pennies per gallon. Say yes to healthier skin and hair and to softer and brighter clothes. Sunset Water Services delivers your bags of salt to you, so they'll save your back too. And our products come with a 1-year satisfaction guarantee. Call 304-754-9031 for a free water quality test today. SunsetWater.com.
Welcome back to a now darkened Cardinal Coliseum as they're trying to force people out, Nick, as we start the postgame show. Brought to you by Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page, as usually after you win a sectional championship, no matter where you are, you're supposed to be able to cut down.
We just had a police It looked like you might have been a student, so I'm
no,
not
that was Coach Church's son.
Okay. Well, that's great.
You're supposed to be able to cut down the nets no matter where you are,
right?
But Spring Mills is not letting.
They put up the basket before they could cut down the
yes.
net, and Spring Mills or Hedgesville went to the locker room. But I mean, things are definitely picking up here as we have people running out of the gym. I think Spring Mills. I mean, they want to be rivals, right? I mean, they want to be big time, I guess, and they're still trying to get on the levels of the Martinsburgs and the Hedgesvilles. And I think when maybe that might have been it, or maybe it's just not being aware of the situation. But we do know that Spring Mills knows something about winning sectional championships, and because they do it in girls all the time. So, you know, when you win the section that you get to cut down the net, home or away. They didn't allow Hedgesville to do that, which has kind of led to some drama here. I'm guessing that's what's been kind of the thing here. But, I mean, it is what it is. Again, it's high school basketball. I don't think we need to take it this seriously sometimes, as we shouldn't have, like Coach Church said, adults getting upset about things, kids playing a game.
Yes.
And that's what we're having at times. It's not that serious. It's high school basketball. It's fun. Make it fun. Let the kids have their moment and cut down the net.
All right. Let's get into the game stats brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South and Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. Nick, game stats for me.
Yeah, I got the Hedgesville totals. 9 for Stephon Barclay, Cam Wilkes at 18, 4 for Damon Cook, 14 for Jackson Ruess, 7 for Christian Bolduc, and 6 for Tay Wilmer. And on the Spring Mills side, you saw 12 from Caleb Robinson, but then he fouls out and doesn't score in the second half. You get 4 from Caleb Thomas, dealing with the ankle injury. 8 from DJ Boardley. Xavier Anderson gives you 9. And then 6 for Max Anderson and 10 for Davis here tonight.
All right, now it's time for the awards portion of the broadcast as we begin to wrap things up here on the Palace Lounge postgame show. It's time for the moment of the game, brought to you by Milestone Real Estate Group. Chris Ross of the Milestone Real Estate Group. Buying or selling a home? Call Chris Ross at 304-579-7349 or go to callchrisross.com.
Where do you want me to start?
Moment of the game.
Moment of the game. I kind of zoned out there for a second. Moment of the game, though, has to be the third quarter for Hedgesville, right? I mean, 21-7 third quarter. It's really when they blew the game open. You could go to the technicals as well, which played a big factor in giving Hedgesville that momentum to have such a good third quarter. But their defense is really where they brought it, and that was there to start the second half.
All right, and then the next one, the rejection of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced, certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
We had a few early in the game, but I thought a great effort play, even though the game was kind of over at that point, was the Max Anderson rejection with about 30 seconds to go in the game. So that would be my rejection of the game.
All right, now it's time for the final one, which is going to be a hard one tonight, I think, Nick. It is the player of the game, brought to you by Kelly's Allstate Insurance. For all your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
I would go with Cam Wilkes. Definitely, some good efforts by everybody. We talked about the starting five, Barclay, Ruiz, Bolduc, Wilmer coming off the bench, Damon Cook, and Cam Wilkes. All those guys played great here tonight, but Cam, I think, just made enough plays, was relentless chasing down the basketball, and he's got to be my player of the game.
All right, we're going to wrap things up here from the Cardinal Coliseum, a 59-51 victory in the Section 1 championship game for the number 2 Hedgesville Eagles over the number 1 Spring Mills Cardinals. And we're going to make the announcement right now. Barring something happening, got to talk with the athletic director, Joy Van Dyne at Hedgesville, but we plan to be at Hedgesville next Wednesday for the Region 2 championship. One of the championships, it'll be Musselman at Hedgesville. That'll be a 7 p.m. tip time and 6:30 pregame time. But once again, that's where we will be next week. But for our crew tonight, for Colin McLaughlin and John Allerton on camera, Dylan Bishop, who you'll hear from momentarily back in the studio, I'm Spencer Dupuis, for Nick Verzolini as well, saying so long. We'll talk to you on the Sports Mix on Monday to wrap up this one. We'll talk hopefully with head coach for the Jefferson Cougars, Richard Lewis, as well on Monday's edition of the Sports Mix. But have a great rest of your night, everyone.
And the streak continues! CMA's Martinsburg dealerships continue to knock out the competition with their competitive pricing, extensive selection, and lifetime powertrain warranty. With over 450 new and used vehicles in stock and on the way, CMA won't leave you waiting on a bench.
That's right, CMA's Martinsburg dealerships are once again the most valuable dealers in the area.
For the strongest and deepest lineups, visit CMA's Martinsburg dealerships online at martinsburg.cmacars.com today. And good luck to all Panhandle High School student athletes.
Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market. Rock's Grab and Go is made fresh daily. Grab and Go, now available at Rock's local market.
Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg is your favorite place to have a great meal, a good time, and to catch all the games. Join us Mondays for 75-cent wings and follow your favorite team from the bar on our 17 TVs located all throughout the bar or from the outdoor fire pit. Ollie's has great food and drink menus and features specials for every day of the week, including Saturdays when you can get a 16-ounce ribeye steak grilled the way you want it for just $24.95. That's Ollie's VIP Northside at 36 Veronica Drive, Martinsburg. We'll see you for the game. At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Welcome into the post-game and one scoreboard show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by the Farmer and Mechanics Insurance Company. When it comes to your home, auto, farm, or business, they're trusted, reliable, and experienced. Call them at 304-263-0809 or go to fmiwv.com. Dylan Bishop here for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. The game you just saw or heard was Hedgesville beating Spring Mills in the Section 1 championship game 59-51 in the Spring Mills Cardinals Coliseum. The other game, final score from that one, Section 2, Jefferson over Musselman 73-45, which again sets up Musselman at Hedgesville and Spring Mills at Jefferson on Wednesday for the regional championships. We'll get into some other scores from around the basketball world tonight in the NBA. Right now, with 4 minutes left in the third quarter, Orlando defeating Charlotte 87-65. At halftime in Atlanta, the Hawks lead the Trailblazers 59-49. At halftime in Boston, the Celtics over the Nets 64-55. Just starting the second quarter over in Miami, 43-31, the Knicks lead the Heat. In the second quarter in Chicago, it's Suns 48, Bulls 36, and with 8 minutes to go left in the second quarter, the Thunder at home lead the Jazz 44-34. Games that have not yet gotten underway in the NBA tonight, 10 o'clock on ESPN, Nuggets and the Grizzlies, 1 versus 2 in the Western Conference in Denver. 10 o'clock, Warriors hosting the Pelicans, Kings hosting the Clippers, and at 10:30, the Lakers host the Timberwolves. Those are your scores from around the rest of the basketball world tonight, and this has been the N1 post-game scoreboard show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10, brought to you by Farmer and Mechanics Insurance Company. I'm Dylan Bishop, hoping that you have a great rest of your evening and a great weekend.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School basketball. Today's game has been brought to you by
Bechtel Jewelers, Brown's Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, CMA Honda of Winchester, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Hagerstown Ford, Orsini's Home Store, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, and WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Center.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.